First question is some of these I might use, some of them I might keep for future reference. We'll see. But what's it like playing for Coach Coughlin?
Tom Coughlin is an incredible coach, great leader, military style of coaching. 5 minutes early to the meetings, but the clocks are 5 minutes early to the world time, so really 10 minutes early. And it's but he can really motivate guys. He can get grown men that make a lot of money to buy in and be a part of a team.
Yeah. Cool. And then, speaking of team, what's the team chemistry like?
It starts with the leaders. So we've got Eli, Chris Nee, Dave Deal, those guys on the offensive line, Justin Tuck on the defensive line, and Corey Webster in the secondary. Guys that have been there for a long time, that have played together, have won 2 Super Bowls, and they are able to keep the locker room, keep the team in good chemistry.
Compare the chemistry between a college team like the Buckeyes and a pro team. Better, worse, equal?
It's hard to have what you had in college as far as chemistry because the roster changes so much. I forget what the number is. It's like 40% roster changeover every year. Wow. So you have to count on those guys that have been there to establish that, and they have to be good leaders, which they are. When you come in college, you come in, you have your class, and you go through, and you grow up together. You learn so much. You're taking classes together. Where in the NFL, you go in, you work together, and then you go home. Guys have families, have other things going on. So it's hard to establish as much chemistry, but I think we, with the Giants, have done a really good job of it.
You mentioned Eli. How much do you get to be around him or the other players in general? And then as far as like off the field, if you guys ever go out and hang out, even if it's just grabbing a bite to eat together, and then going to that, but then going back to Eli as well. What's Eli like as a player, but then off the field as well?
So Eli is kind of like what I told people about Jim Tressel. He's the same as you see him on TV. He's the same guy. And he's really cool. He'll just sit and eat lunch with you if you're a new guy or anything like that. We don't spend a lot of time off the field events. I mean, he's obviously very busy. You spend a lot of time with your position group if you go to dinner or something like that. But the season. I mean, you're there 7 a.m. till at least 4 p.m. During the week, and then you're traveling together. You're playing in the games and everything. And then the off season, there's OTA's minicamp that we had 9 weeks from April to June, and there's some more time. But I mean, he's he just had a second baby, but great guy, and I'm sure he's going to be an awesome father.
But what was winning the Super Bowl like?
That's a question that people have to ask, and it's kind of like this when I went to Ohio State and people ask me, like, what is it like to go run out on the field in front of 105,000? It's really indescribable. But to get there, of course, it's a dream come true. Everybody watches the Super Bowl. You watch it growing up, and then you get there, and then that feeling of winning is it's very emotional. It's fulfilling, and it's short-lived, though. I mean, it goes fast. There's a season coming up, but that week, you win the Super Bowl. You have the parade. Something maybe, people here don't even realize. There's 2 million people that come into the city, and we're on a float riding through them, and they're screaming and yelling, and so that was pretty cool too. But to win the Super Bowl is a dream come true and undescribable.
Now, do you live? Well, actually, for those most football fans know this, but the New York Giants are actually East Rutherford, right?
Yeah, East Rutherford. Yeah, East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Now, do you live in the New York, New Jersey area year round, or do you come back home and live during the summer, like here at Ohio?
I got to come back to Ohio. It's fun being there. So Christmas time in the city is great. There's things going on, but it's a lot. I like to come back because my family's here. And we have our Cordle Cares events. I can work out at Ohio State with guys I played with, so I really enjoy it. As soon as I can get out, the season's over. It's a corporate housing setup where it's furnished. You move in, move out whenever you need to. So that's what we do, and then come back here.
When you come back to Ohio, usually how long do you come back for? Is it like 1 week, like quick trip, and you're going so fast your head's spinning off, or how long do you usually come back for?
So 2010 when I signed as a free agent, went there, came back. Well, we were back. Yeah, I was back for the 4th of July, so that was kind of cool. I went back and came back, and then so we have basically those last week in June, 3 weeks in July off, and the season. After that first season, we were locked out, so I was here for a while. But then 2011, we win the Super Bowl. I have ankle surgery, go on the Buckeye Cruise for cancer, so we didn't come back till March, and then April. So March, April 15th we start. So there's 6 weeks, and then go through the summer, and then have that 4 weeks again before training camp starts. So now I came back in the winter because we didn't make the playoffs. Had some more time in the winter, but yeah, I'd love to come back and train and be around.
Impromptu question. I don't have this in my notes, but what does Jim Cordle like to do in his time off? How do you relax and unwind?
I love to go fishing. We just got a puppy, so that's taken up a lot of time.
What kind?
A schnoodle.
Okay.
It's a toy schnoodle. It's not a big one. It's a miniature schnauzer and a toy poodle. But Stan's pretty cool. And then we just got a house. So we were working on the house. So it's been crazy. Get the house, dog, foundation stuff, and trying to spend as much time with my family. So yeah, I stay pretty busy.
I figured as much. If you could sum up the Bowling with Buckeyes event into like maybe a 30-second soundbite, go for it.
Bowling with Buckeyes is a Thunder Rally style type bowling where the community comes out, sponsors our lanes. We have Buckeyes and Special Olympians participating with our sponsors. Donations come in from the community at an unbelievable rate, so that help us raise a lot of money. And we gave $18,000 to Special Olympics last year. Gave out $5,000 in scholarships, but it is I have to thank the board because they put so much time into it, and it's a work of love that comes out, and that night it's a blast.
What kind of inspired you to start your foundation?
I wanted to do something. Came up with the bowling idea, volunteering my time at the Big Brothers Big Sisters bowling fundraiser, and said this is something that a group of us could do. And John Bosser happened to be there, who works with Fairfield County DD. My parents were special ed teachers, so I would hang out, with their students, with the MH students at the high school. We were involved with Special Olympics at Ohio State, and I just felt like that's something really cool because here I am in 2009. I was going into my senior year. I'm able to do what I love at a high level, and I wanted to help give the opportunity to people with handicaps to be able to do that through Special Olympics.
Cool, thank you. And then last question. I'll cut you loose. I do appreciate your time.
No problem.
You obviously you played under Coach Tressel and whatnot. I'm assuming by now you've met Coach Meyer, if not previously, but you've got to know him. What's your thoughts on Coach Meyer as a coach, as a person, and then also, what's your thought on OSU's upcoming football season? Kind of preview OSU's season for us, if you can.
Yeah, Urban Meyer is an incredible coach. He's going to win a lot of games, and he's done a great job of continuing to pay it forward from the Woody Hayes, Jim Tressel. Fast-paced offense, all that stuff that he brings, and he loves Ohio State, so that's really neat because after going through Ohio State, I love Ohio State. I know he loves it as much or more than I do, and he's a Buckeye, so that's important, and he does a great job of recruiting. So I don't see how Ohio State is going to be able to lose many games because he's going to bring in recruits. He's got the best coaches, and he's a winner.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.